Hey, what's up, everyone? I hope you can hear me. I hope this video is going through pretty clear. I've been getting such an overwhelming response on land and people wanting to purchase land from me being on Brother Rich's channel that I have to do this video because otherwise I'm spending hours and hours repeating the same information to people, and I don't have that much time in a day. Trust me. I pray for more time in a day, every day, all the time. So I'm gonna say a bunch of stuff, cover a bunch of stuff, and hopefully you guys get the information that you need here. And then when you call me, it'll just be for a consultation. Okay, I just got off the phone with one of my students, and shout out to her, D. Shout out to her. Um, one of the questions she was asking, and she asked a few questions. Well, let me just back up before that. Let me check my mic real quick. Let me check my mic real quick. Make sure I am coming through live. Let me make sure I'm coming through live real quick. Uh, well, I just pray I'm coming through live. Hang on one second. Trying to. So the main thing you guys want to know is that there's two ways of purchasing land these days. Um, One is rent to own, and one is owner finance. As far as financing, there's two ways of purchasing land. One is owner finance, and one is rent to own finance. Okay, with straight up owner financing, you will be on the deed. Uh, you do own and have total control of the property. You do whatever you want on the property that the city, county, state, subdivision, whatever allows. The seller only becomes the bank. The, the, the seller is only the bank at this point. You're on the deed, and the seller's usually off the deed, right? Um, Hang on one second here.
Hang on one second.
Testing, testing. One,
Hang
two,
on
three.
one second. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Testing, testing.
Sounds pretty good. So, when a seller becomes the bank, they have no involvement with the property unless you default. If you default on a property, now they can go through the legal process of taking the property back from you and taking you off the deed and them reselling the property or whatever they're going to do with the property, right? When you do rent to own financing, that was seller financing. Now, number two, when you do rent to own financing, you're literally renting the property. Um, so you have to ask the seller, what can you do on the property? What would they allow you to do? Usually, they won't allow you to do anything permanent to the property because if you default, Now they have to clean up your mess if you leave a mess there, whatever, whatever. Okay. With rent to own financing, you don't go on the deed until you pay the property off completely. Once you've paid the property off completely, or you make some type of special deal with the seller, once you've paid off a certain amount, then you go on the deed. Okay, then you go on the deed. Okay, definitely once it's all paid off, you go on the deed or the title, right? The benefit, the benefit to being to doing rent to own is that you can get in these properties for little or nothing. Zero down, $50 down, 100, $300 down, um, but significantly less than if you do seller financing. Significantly less. When you do seller financing, you have to come up with 10, 20%, usually 10, 20%, sometimes 50% of what the seller is asking for the property, or what, what the purchase price is going to be. When you're doing rent to own financing, it's like whatever, zero down, a dollar down, 100, $300 down, um is what the seller asks, because you're renting to own. You're renting the property. They could take the property back at any time, within a contract that it says they could take it back. There is a promissory note. Instead of a lease, there is a promissory note. So you do have a lock tight contract that you're purchasing the property, and all the money that you're paying towards the property is going towards a purchase. But at the same time, the seller doesn't really have to go through foreclosure with you. They could just go through a eviction with you. Okay, which is good, for both parties. You don't want a foreclosure on your record. So there's a lot of pros and cons with each thing. And also, when you do rent to own financing, um you can instantly purchase online instantly. Okay. um you can trade properties a lot of time. You might have a property for a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and change your mind. You don't want that property anymore. Most of these sellers, they'll switch it out if they have another property that you like. They'll switch it out, give you full credit for the money you've been putting in, and all that type of stuff, especially the sellers I deal with. Okay. Also, when you're doing rent to own financing, it's a great way to get your feet wet. A great way to get your feet wet. Okay. In real estate, in land buying. Okay. Because now you've locked in this property under contract. Okay. But you could actually get out of the contract at any point. You're gonna lose your money if you want out your contract, but you can get out your contract without having to, you know, be on record as being under foreclosure. Like literally nobody would know about it except you and the seller. Because I'm quite sure the seller's not gonna go down there and file eviction papers on you. You know what I mean? They're just gonna say, okay, you say you don't want the property no more, no problem. Contract null and void. They'll sell a property to somebody else, right? With a rent to own contract. Okay. Um there's so much I have to say. And there's a lot of companies doing rent to own financing now on land. Yes, the price is a little bit more sometimes than what you would pay, um than what you would pay straight retail, um going to a land auction and stuff like that. But it's an easy way to lock in property, and be a property controller, be a property buyer, be a land buyer instantly, literally instantly. You don't have to wait 2 years to see if this individual going to pay on the taxes because you help them pay their taxes. You don't have to wait for a closing 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You don't have to go through none of this. You don't have to come up with thousands of dollars for a down payment. With rent to own, you can just instantly purchase online. Okay, instantly purchase online. I'm a big advocate of it. Okay. Now, uh, and I'm not gonna get everything covered here in this one video, but I'm trying to get the gist of it. Now, what I do, where I come in, is I help you through this whole process. You know, there's a lot of questions people don't know how to ask. There's a lot of things people don't know or don't think about. There's a lot of things that's cheap to do. People think it's expensive to do. There's a lot of things that are expensive to do that people think are cheap to do. Okay, like solar panels. Now, solar panels, solar energy, it's very cheap. It's very cheap and easy to do. You don't have to hire any electrician or anybody to come do your solar. You can literally do it yourself. There's a lot of systems now that are plug and play, that'll power your whole house or your tiny house, more so your tiny house and all that type of stuff, right? You can run air condition and all that heater with solar panels now. Okay. Um, that's very cheap and easy to do versus years ago when it was very expensive. Okay. Um, well, being on a well, people think, oh, I just buy my land and go be on a well. No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. If you really seriously want to be on a well, you need to find out from the neighbors, from the county, what's the process of getting on a well out there. You got to get a perk test. Um, um you gotta see how deep you gotta go. It could be, where you thinking it's a few $100s. I just dig a well, put a hand pump in there. No, it could be 50,000, 30,000. Okay. And then you say, well, if I can't dig a well, I'm gonna just harvest rainwater. You can't harvest rainwater everywhere. Some places like Colorado, it's illegal if they find out you're doing it. Okay. There's some places that you have to be on city water. You have to be on city water. Okay. So, or it would be more beneficial for you to be on city water. It would be more beneficial for you to be on city water. Um, you got to find out how you can dispose of your waste. Okay. Uh, some places you have to put a septic tank or be connected to the city. You have to put a septic tank or be connected to the city drain. Okay. Not everywhere allows you to compost your waste. Okay, not everywhere. So these are all the questions you need to ask. You need to ask, what size dwelling can I put on my land? Okay. It's tiny houses and stuff is becoming more acceptable. RV living is becoming more acceptable, but you still need to find out. Okay, the term is dwelling. You need to ask, what kind of dwelling can I put on my property if I buy this property, if I purchase this property? Okay, what size dwelling? Okay, what size dwelling? Meaning when I say what kind of dwelling, meaning can I put a RV? Can I put a travel trailer? Can I put a barn dominium? Can I put a tiny house? Can I put a single family? Can I put, you know, a modular house? So every city, every county, they only allow they might only allow um a specific type of home for that area, so you got to find all that out, and a specific size, a minimum size. Okay. And so many dwellings per acre, or per square footage. Okay, I remember we was trying to buy in Arizona. They only allowed one dwelling per 4 acres, which is crazy to me. One dwelling per 4 acres, but they have their reasons why they have these rules. Okay, so you have to find out all of this stuff. Okay, and with rent to own, you can lock in a property and have all the time in the world to do your due diligence. It's no rush, because like I say, a year might go by. You say, oh, I don't want this property anymore, I want to switch it out for another property. A lot of these sellers, they'll switch it out for you, no problem. No problem at all. Okay? You don't, a lot of times you don't want to like straight up purchase a property, especially cash, and now you find out you can't do what you wanted to do. Okay? Or the laws change in the midst of you purchasing. Okay? So it's a lot, it's a lot to it, but let me say this. It's the greatest feeling I've ever had is being off grid, on my own land, being off grid on my own land. I was at the ranch last night. We was having a good time, eating, having a great little time. And you know, I remember when I was living in the city and then when I first bought my ranch, and I was like, God, I felt so good that if I want to leave the city, I could just drive out to my ranch and I could just hang out there and have a good little time. Okay. You might want a property just for that. You're not going to put any house, you're not going to farm, you're not going to ranch it. You just want somewhere secluded, peaceful that you could just go park your car and spend the night, a day, a week, whatever they allow. Okay. Um, you might want a piece of land to buy and hold. I have a bunch of buy and hold properties. A couple of them are landlocked, but I know what's coming in the area, so I'm not worried about it. All right. Um, you some people may say, "Oh, I don't want to buy a house in with a HOA, or I mean, I don't want to buy a land with a HOA or something like that." But if you know what's coming in that area, you may say, "Hey, I'm not going to live there, but this is a great investment opportunity. I'll go ahead and invest in this land." Okay. And hey Amber, I'll go ahead and invest in this land, and then when I get a certain amount of equity, I'll go ahead and sell the land. Okay. So you may want to be a land buyer or owner or controller for this reason. Okay. Some people say, well, there's no point of me buying land because I'll never be able to afford to put a house on it. That's not true. Once you pay off your land, especially if your land has grown in significant equity, you can leverage that land. I've said this a million times. You leverage that land to get a construction loan, to build a house, to build your house. And you won't need any credit, you won't need any money, you won't need a job, income, anything, because the land is the collateral. Okay? They're going to give you 30%, 50, 60, 70% of what the land is worth. Set up the construction loan with you, and if you don't pay on the loan, they take the house and the land and everything, and now the bank or the private lender have a great asset to add to their portfolio that they could rent out, sell, whatever they want to do. So they don't care. Matter of fact, they're hoping you don't pay on the construction loan. They praying every day you don't pay on the construction loan. Okay. And also I want to say this because um a lot of people think that when you how you say let me see how I'm gonna put this now. uh God, and I lost my train of thought. I had how I was gonna put it. Okay, let me come back to that. Okay, let me see what else can we talk about here. um and a lot of people think it's so racist and all this and that in a country. No, to me, from my experience, I experience more racism in the city. Out here, country folks, they help you, help each other. Even if they have a little bit of bigotry in them, they still help you because they know one day they may need your help. Okay, one day they may need your help. So people are very friendly, helpful, stuff like that. You see the same people at the same store every day. There's a little corner store down here. I see the same people down there all the time, every day. So you get to know everybody in your area. Um, it's a real, and being in the country is a real sense of community. a real sense of community being in a country. Whereas to me, being in a city is just you know each other, but you don't really fuck with each other like that, or you talk about each other, gossip on each other, easily will stab each other in the back. Where in a country, you know you might need this individual one day. You know you dependent upon each other. So all that crabby, grimy stuff is really to a minimum. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. You know, I'm not saying people not crabby and all that in the country, but it's very minimal. It's very minimal. Okay. Listen, on my cabins, I leave the doors open. No, I've been there for years, 3 years now. Nobody goes in there. Nobody bothers anything. My neighbors watch out for me. I'm obviously highly melanated, so-called black man, whatever. All my neighbors on both sides across the street, they're Caucasian or so-called white people. Okay, and these people look out for me. They look out for me. When I first moved in that area, I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? But I didn't care, right? And come to find out, these are the best neighbors I ever had in my life, better than some so called black neighbors I've ever had in my life. Better. I'm talking about I done got stuck in the mud. My neighbor came and helped me. I'm picking up tree limbs. My neighbors come over and help me. I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, we help you. You know, I left my tools outside. He pick it up, hold it in his car, in his truck for me till I get back out there. They said they go back there and walk around sometimes, walk my property, make sure everything is good, everything is in its place. I mean, it's not racist because I used to think it was racist and all this type of thing. It's not like what you think. You probably experiencing more racism being in the city. You're experiencing more struggle being in a city. Another thing, people think it's no money to be made in a country. I make more money in a country than I've ever made in a city since I was like 21 years old. Because when I was 21, I made a lot of money selling cars. But ever since I've not been able to duplicate it up to now, me being in the country. Okay. From I was like 22, 23. No, I'm lying. From I was like 26 when I first started living in my vehicle. When I was 26 to like 38 years old, even now up to like 40 something, not now, but previous years up to like 42, 43, 44, I was only making 30, 40, $50,000 a year. Some years 20,000 a year, 10,000 a year. Okay? And even like when I got my land in 2017, I was probably only making 20, $30,000 a year. I purchased that land, I think, with like $900 down or something. I think I gave her like 350 to hold it for me. Then I gave her some more money, and then I started making the payments. I bought that land for like 9,000, sold it for 16,000 a year later. Fast forward to 2022, I bought my ranch with four of the business partners that we put our money together, and life has been great out there. We got a city out there, Edenton, that's 20 minutes away. Another city, Elizabeth City, 45 minutes away. You can find work in either one of those cities. You can make money on the land itself. Okay. I Airbnb my land, my property. Um, I recommend to my students that you do a test run on Airbnb with your property. See if people want to camp out there. See if people want to do van life there. All that type of stuff. We're becoming a very transient community. Okay, we're becoming a very transient world. Hold on one second. I got another call coming in. People been calling me like crazy. Hello, hey brother, brother Rich channel. Yeah, man. I'm on a live right now, man. Go to my channel. Yeah, I think this channel. I got two channels, but go to the one say Dragon Manifest Outdoors, something like that. And but I see your number right here. I'm gonna call you back. If you don't call me like after 4. Yeah, call me after 4. And if yeah, call me after 4. And if I don't pick up, I'll call you back. Okay. And hey, go in this live, man, and ask some questions. I'm answering questions up in there. Okay. Okay. All right, Marcus. All right. Yeah, my phone just been blowing up. Shout out to Brother Rich and his channel. He allowed me to say my little two piece. And but one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I don't find anybody doing this. There's nobody. Everybody's saying buy land, but nobody's being specific. Nobody's helping anybody to really be specific in buying land. And the thing that I hate is that there's an easy, very easy way to buy land. Extremely easy way to buy land. In group economics and rent to own financing, and nobody is talking about it. And this is what the super rich and wealthy do all the time. They pull their monies together and buy land, buy property. You think Bill Gates buying millions of acres of land by himself? No. Him and Warren Buffett, his buddy, and all of them, they teaming up together to buy this land. Okay, that way no one individual have all the liability if things go south. Okay, even when they purchase Facebook and all these other companies, they put their money together. They work together in group economics. That's a very easy way to start purchasing land. Get 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 people together. Y'all put down $50, $100, $1,000 each, and you can buy all the land you want. This is what I'm not comprehending. Why people rent. When I say rent, I mean why people rent without that money going into some type of escrow or going into the buying process. I don't understand. I don't understand or overstand why people just throw money away every month paying rent, and it's not a business that's going to bring you back money. It's not like anything that's asset to you. It's literally just a place for you to sleep and have a shelter over your head. If all you need is a place to sleep, cook, clean, wash your ass, have a shelter over your head, all you need is some land. All you need is some land. A place to park your vehicle, raise your offsprings. All you need is some land. Put you a tent, a cabin, like I teach to put cabins on there. Put you a RV on there, and you good. And now you can build your dream home or whatever you want to do. Okay, I literally, when I see and hear people or know people paying rent anything over 500 a month, I cringe. I cringe. I literally cringe because the amount of money that this individual is throwing away, some of you are throwing away. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. You're like a zombie to me. No offense, but people out here, you're like zombies. You're brain dead, and I don't know why it don't compute that thousand, 1,500, 1,800, $2,000 a month you're throwing away in rent could be going towards the purchase of a real tangible asset, the most valuable asset, be honest with you, is land. It could be going into that and cost you a fraction of what you're paying in rent. If you rent 1,500 a month and all you renting is a little apartment, 2, 3 bedroom, whatever, 1 bedroom, whatever, for 500 a month, you could have a whole acre, 2 acres, 3 acres for 500 a month. Okay? What's up, Marcus? For 500 a month. And on that 1 acre, even if it's a half an acre, that's still bigger than an apartment size area. On that half an acre, 1, 2, 3 acre, you can now build you a 1 bedroom. Start off by putting an RV on there. Start off by putting a, 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 a cabin on there. Okay, and that's a whole nother video. I got to show y'all how I buy these cabins and design them, then build them out and turn them into Airbnbs and turn them into a place to live for you and your family. Okay, y'all have to get out this program that y'all are in, because I see it's literally a program, and this program has no glitch, because the amount of people that's renting, paying over 500 a month, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month rent is crazy. It's mind boggling when I drive by an apartment building and I'm like, everybody in an apartment building paying $1,000, $1,500 a month. And if they group together, they could probably buy that whole building, buy that whole apartment complex. If they just wake up one day and say, why the hell are we paying rent? Okay, y'all, we're going to have a meeting this Monday. Everybody, instead of giving the landlord your rent money, we're going to add it up, see how much money we got here. Oh, we got 1.5 million? What the hell? We've been giving this motherfucker 1.5 million every month. No, we're going to take this 1.5 million. We're going to make him an offer on this building, or we're going to go buy our own building. And none of us ain't going to pay rent again. Only thing we're going to pay is a little note for 5, 10, 20 years. I don't recommend anything over 20 years. Okay, I really don't recommend anything over 10 years. Forget 20 years. These days, you don't want to be paying any notes over 10 years. Okay, so you're going to pay a little note if there's a note for 10 years, and then you're going to pay it off. All you're going to have is your taxes, and you're good to go. But it's just so painful. Okay, it's just so painful. I was dating a lady, and she's a property manager. And this lady told me these people are behind on rent. 10,000, 18,000, 34,000. I'm like, what the hell? They behind on rent because a lot of people wasn't paying their rent because they had that virus thing. So they was getting away with not paying their rent. And these people were literally begging, hey, can I make payments on that back rent? Can I pay you the current rent and pay you extra 100, 200, 300 on that back rent? Begging for deals like this. I'm like, what? Are you serious? They could just say, bump it. I came up. I ain't pay rent for a year, 2, 3 years. I'm finna go buy me a house or some land right now. But none of these folks, some of y'all, was in this situation, didn't have to pay rent, and didn't even save $1, didn't even save $1,000, didn't even save $2,000, $3,000. You was taking that money and buying Louis, Gucci, Versace, video games, Jordans, birthday parties. You were just living it up. Free rent, no rent. Anybody that was not paying rent for a year, 2, 3 years, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself if y'all don't even have $1,000 put aside to buy some land. Put down on some land. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're a complete failure. You need a reset. They talking about the great reset. Yes, we need a great reset. Y'all need a great reset in y'all brain. Because this program that they got y'all on, Go to work. Anybody know me personally? I work for myself. I've been working for myself since I was 14. I even when I worked for other people, it was like 5 years out of my whole life. I'm damn near 50 now. Okay. And those 5 years out of my whole life that I worked for other people, I worked being a server in a restaurant, which, as you know, you basically work for yourself because you make your own hours and you work off of tips. So I could say literally my whole life I just work for myself. Okay. I've never comprehend really working for somebody. If I'm a work, if I'm a trade my time for money, if I'm gonna trade my labor for money, it's gonna be on my terms how much I want to get paid. Okay? On my terms how much I want to get paid. I'm not gonna let nobody control my time, control my money, control my labor. You controlling all of me? Hell no. That's slavery. And then you're gonna take out taxes of what? So if I make 400 a week, $10 an hour times 40 hours, I make 400 a week. Now you want to take out 20, 30% of that? And it's in 2023 where price of food, rent, and living is literally um 5 and 10 times it was 30 years ago, and you paying the same wage, $10 an hour. Do y'all not see that y'all are crazy? Then when you make them $400 a week minus taxes, you take that and go give it away. You literally go give it away to the rent man, to the grocery store. You can be on your own land, in your own RV cabin, whatever, growing your own food. Speaking of that, I'm now going completely plant-based diet. I'm now going to have a completely plant-based diet. I'm getting off of chicken. I've already been off of pork for years. I think I had my last beef or red meat meal the other day. As of yesterday, I decided to completely get off of chicken because I seen a video, and y'all need to get off of that chicken. I'm done with chicken. Okay. Um, I'm pretty much. I had a fish dinner last night. I'm pretty much probably gonna still be on fish, fresh fish though, with the head still on it. Um, for a little bit, and then be completely plant-based diet. That way I literally just grow my own food. I don't need a, because as it is right now, I'm so proud of myself. When I go in a grocery store, I go straight to the produce. I don't buy anything in a box anymore. I don't buy anything in jars basically anymore. If it's in a jar, it's gonna be honey or something like that. But I don't buy anything. I don't buy cereal. I don't eat no more cereal. Um, the only thing I might eat in a box is pasta. Pasta. Not no Roman noodles. Roman noodles is poison, straight poison. Stop eating them Roman noodles. It's straight poison. If you want noodles, buy real noodles. Somebody made a video about that. I'm like, damn, why I didn't think of that? Roman noodles is nothing but imitation noodles. So why don't I just buy real noodles? Put some salt and pepper and vinegar and seasoning on it. It's the same thing, but real. At least realer. Really, you're supposed to be making your own noodles, right? You're supposed to be making your own noodles. But I'm so proud of myself. Since I had my surgery a couple months ago, even a little bit before that, when I go in a grocery store, I go straight to the produce aisle, buy fruits, vegetables. This is my watermelon right here. I get up every day, eat watermelon. This is my first meal of the day, watermelon. This thing here, the price that came off of it is $1.48. Can y'all see that? $1.48. Now, where are you gonna buy breakfast for $1.48. And this fills me up. I eat this watermelon right here. I feel full. I feel full for $1.48. So people thinking, oh, it's so expensive to be on a plant-based diet. I was thinking the same thing. But that's if you're trying to mix uh plant-based with regular eating. But if you go straight plant-based, it's cheap. It's cheap. Straight plant-based is cheap. My breakfast costs $1.48. $1.48. And if I have a couple more of these, my breakfast gonna cost me like $5 and change. And this is like something um hard, and it has juices in it. So literally I'm getting my solid and my liquid at the same time. When I go on a food line in the grocery store, I started to grow my own watermelons, but I didn't have time to cultivate it. This year, hopefully, I have time. So I do buy my watermelons in a grocery store from a local farmer. But when I buy my watermelons, I buy up the whole shelf. I buy everything I can. Matter of fact, I had so much watermelon in here at one point, some of it went bad. Twice that happened to me. Okay. And it's not just watermelon, any melon, honeydew, cantaloupe, great breakfast, great antioxidant, clean your body out for cheap. It's cheap. Bananas, I just ate a banana. You essentially a banana costs you like 5, 10, 20 cents. You could eat 3 bananas. As you know, bananas fill you up too. You can eat 3 bananas and a couple slices of watermelon, and you good to go. You cannot tell me with 1, 2, 3 bananas and 1, 2, 3 slices of watermelon, maybe throwing a pear or some grapes in there, it's gonna cost you less than $3, definitely less than $5 for your break fast to break your fast. You can't tell me you're not full. You are full. You probably skip lunch if you have that for breakfast. You probably skip lunch and go straight to dinner. And now at dinner, do your vegetables. Do your vegetables. Okay? Do your vegetables for dinner. And a roll. For dinner, I have a sweet potato. For dinner, I usually do a sweet potato or a baked potato with a roll, a bread, right? I do like rolls. And like I say, I'll do a fish. I'll do a fish. Normally I do a fish. That's what I've been doing is a fish. Okay. And that's it. Lunch. Usually my lunch is gonna be the same thing I had for breakfast. Fruits. Okay. And water. Fruits and water. Again, I might do a fish sandwich, something like that. But eventually, as my body like get used to the changes, I'm gonna be completely plant based, completely plant based. All right. Um, and these are things you grow on your land. You grow on your land, so you're not taking your money that you earn from trading your labor and just giving it away. I cannot comprehend how you struggling for 10, 20, 30 years and think one day, oh, my boss is going to just miraculously, or my landlord is just going to miraculously say, oh, you don't have to pay rent anymore. Or, oh, you don't have to work anymore and I'm going to still pay you. Unless you work in some job that you could retire from, ain't nobody gonna pay you and you not work. Okay. Definitely ain't no landlord gonna tell you to stop paying rent. You've been paying rent for 30 years, you could have the house. Ain't no landlord gonna do that. I've never seen it done. Maybe people have had it done, but that's one in a gazillion people. All right. Now I'm gonna tell you another thing. Let's talk about this. Oh, I'm not gonna buy land because it's so expensive. I don't care what the cost of land is. I don't care if I pay $100,000 for a property today, and literally tomorrow the market drop and now my property is worth $10,000. I would not care. I would not care. I'm gonna tell you why. When have you seen the price of rent drop? When have you seen the price of rent drop? Never. Rent goes up, keep going up. Now, a property may lose its value because of the market, okay? But market rent consistently goes up even if the house is raggedy, the apartment is raggedy. Guess what? You're getting a rent increase next year. You're like, oh man, this apartment raggedy, this house raggedy. He probably give me they probably give me less rent. No, your rent is going up. Your rent is never going down. Never. So I don't care if I bought a property for 100,000 this year and next year it's worth 10,000. I can still rent that property for whatever the market rent is, okay, or higher, and still my tenant can be paying off that property, whether the 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 equity went down on my property or not. I can still collect the same rent. I can still demand the same rent. So for example, say I bought this property 100,000 and the market crash, and next year you can buy the same property for 10,000. Okay? No tenant is going to come to you and say, "Hey, this house is not worth 100,000 anymore. So I'm not paying you $1,000 of rent anymore. This property is only worth 10,000. So I'm gonna give you $100 rent." No tenant's gonna do that. None. They too happy just to have a roof over their head and you don't kick their ass out. No tenant is gonna do that. I know tenants, I know people right now, okay, that live in deplorable conditions. Some of you live in deplorable conditions. And yeah, you complain to your landlord, but you still pay the same rent. Month after month, you paying the same rent. Okay? You do not go to your landlord and say, "Hey, the property value went down, so the rent should go down." No. Everybody pay the same rent year after year, month after month. And matter of fact, it keep going up and up and up. Okay? And with property value, what goes down eventually comes up. Just like what goes up eventually come down. Property value just gonna go up and down, up and down, up and down forever, up and down. But it's consistently, even though it go up and down, it consistently goes up. That's how property value does. Okay? It goes like this. Just like the stock market, up and down, but consistently up. Rent, up, 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 up. With rent, there's no this. There's no up, down, up, down, up, down, consistently up. With rent, it's just consistently up. I don't care if you're paying $1,000 this year. Next year, you're gonna pay 1105, 1125, 1200, 1300. Like most people. Most people rent from $1,000 to 1,500. Okay? So don't be talking about that talk to me. Oh, I don't believe in buying land because it's too expensive. Land prices about to go down. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Historically, prices have always been up and down with property and land, but right now, don't wait for it. Don't wait for property and land value to go down. Do not wait for it. It's not coming. It's not coming. I'm going to tell you why. They are purchasing these lands and properties cash money. Cash money. It's not like back in '04, '05, '06 where everything was a bubble and you could buy properties, no income, no assets, some income, some asset. That was the Nina and Sissa deals with on the started with Bill Clinton. Now companies like BlackRock, people like Bill Gates, companies like Amazon, they're buying these properties cash money. They're cornering the market on all real estate. If it's for sale, they trying to buy it. They don't care what the cost. These people are playing Monopoly. You're playing chess or checkers. I keep telling people it's not checkers. It's not even chess. It is chess in a way, but these people are playing Monopoly. Buy the land, put houses on the land. When people land on your property, they have to pay you rent. They have to pay you rent every time they land on your property. And you keep doing that to them until they go bankrupt. Okay? And then when you get enough money, you sell all your properties and you buy a hotel. You buy hotels. This is monopoly, people. And it's simple, easy. It baffles me. The easiest things to do in the world, people find it the hardest and people don't want to do it. It's easy to be non-dramatic. It's easy to be non-traumatic. It's easy to live a peaceful life. It's easy to just be with your family. Be with your family. Stop being a whore in the streets. I know dating out here is crazy and it's hard and everything, but once you found somebody, stop. Once you found somebody to build with, once you have found somebody to build with, I use that word specifically, build, because if you ain't building, it's pointless. It's pointless. Try again. Once you found somebody to build with consistently, stay with your family. Build together. Y'all build together. It's simple. It's easy. Stop being a freaking whore. If you want polygamy, say it. Man, you'll be surprised how many women are okay with polygamy, but they not down with the whorish polygamy, the whorish things that people are doing. Polygamy is not about being a whore and sleeping with a bunch of women. It's about building. It's about building. Okay? What else I need to talk about? Anyhow, I'm gonna do consistent videos from now on because the channel is growing, the business is growing. I do charge $250 for my consultation. What do you get for that consultation? You get your trust documents. You get one-on-one consultation with me until you buy your property. I don't care if it takes a day or a year or 10 years to purchase your property. I will guide you through the process one-on-one. Now, with that being said, no, you cannot consume all my time all day, every day, me looking up properties, doing stuff for you. You're doing it, we're doing it together. If I see you're not putting in the effort to research and do what I tell you to do, I'm not gonna put in the rest the effort to research and help you. You just paid your 250 and you wasted it if you thought I'm just gonna do all the work for you. No, the purpose of the 250 is I'm consultating you, but I'm going a little bit above and beyond, and I'm holding your hand. I'm making the calls with you. We're doing three-way calls to the county, the city. Hey, what kind of dwelling can I put on my property? What's the minimum square footage, maximum square footage? How many dwellings per square feet or per acres Um, what's this property zone? Agriculture, residential, no zoning, farming, ranching, RVing. What can I do specifically? What you just ask them straight out. What can I do and not do on this property? All right. Um, you have to know about your due diligence, how the money thing work, transacting the money. Promissory notes. You need to know what need to be in your promissory note so you don't get scammed. Okay, how to research the company you're buying from, how to research the individual you're buying from. Okay, you need to know about if you want to, you need to know about your if your property's landlocked, if it's worth buying it or not. Like I said, I have a couple that are landlocked. I don't care because that's buying whole. I'm holding them for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Because I've been in a situation where my friends and family, and I hear old folks, man, I should have bought that property 30 years ago for 3,000, 30,000. I could have bought this whole neighborhood. Back in the day, my mom neighbor said, man, I could have bought this whole neighborhood for nothing. Now some company came in, paid 3, 4, 5 million, bought up all the land and building houses. If y'all know Miami Gardens by the Pro Player Stadium, Joe Robbie Stadium, I don't know what they call it now. Um, I don't know what the hell. Hard Rock Stadium, I think they call it Hard Rock Stadium. All that land on University between 199 and 183rd Street back in the 70s, 80s, anybody could have bought that land for 10, 20, 30, 40,000. Anybody. All right. Matter of fact, I remember when they had for sale signs on that land 30, 40 years ago. For years, the signs were there. Nobody buy it. They sold that land for millions. Finally, big companies came in and purchased that land for millions. And all them Negroes round there that didn't buy it or didn't put their money together to buy it, crying, crying. Them churches, none of the churches put their money to all the damn churches, all the damn black churches around there. Ain't none of them say, hey, let's go buy this land down here for our future congregants, our future offsprings. Let's go buy this land down here. None of them churches, none of them uh mosque, synagogue, well, mosque, Muslim mosque, black people put their money together to buy it. Now, after the man then came in and purchased all that land, put infrastructure and buildings and stores and Walmarts and all of that in there, and convenience stores and shopping malls. Now Negroes gonna come in and support those stores, buy up all everything in those stores, those restaurants, coming out of them restaurants like fat pigs getting all the macaroni and cheese and oxtails and everything, buying all the clothes and shoes and going in their stores and they barber shops getting their hair. Now them Negroes supporting. So you got to build stuff up for these Negroes. I don't know why we lost vision to build it ourselves or how. Well, I know how and why, but it's just ridiculous in 2023 in the information age. Okay, 2020 vision from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. These are all 20s with two twos in it. Your eyes ought to be wide open from 2020 to 2029. Everybody eyes ought to be wide open, seeing what the fuck is going on, seeing what the fuck to do, seeing what the fuck how to do it. Anyhow, I gotta go because I gotta deal with my tax consultant. I'm gonna do part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna do videos every day. Let me see any questions in here. Wow, me too. I can help. Okay. Is what I'm looking for land. Okay. Anyhow, I'm gonna get back to you, Marcus. Call me after 4 o'clock. I'm gonna get back to everybody. Talk to y'all later. Watch this video, rewind this video, because a lot of your questions may be answered in this video. Watch all my previous videos that are applicable to you. And I talk to y'all later. Peace. I gotta go take care of my personal business right now. Talk to y'all at about 4 or 5 o'clock. Peace.